On today's episode of Watch JR Go, we get way closer to starting this car, but we probably don't start it because I'm not sure we have the right quick disconnect here. We needed an A-end quick disconnect fitting, and I ordered a bunch of different sizes and only one's here. We don't know if it's the right one. What is going on, guys? I'm Watch JR Go, and today we are here with tons and tons and tons of the last important pieces of the puzzle we needed. So here are our newly mounted powder-coated wheels with these Aturos that have flames on them. It's not my fault. I didn't know. All right. This is gonna look good. These are 1.5 inches wider than the old tires.
Just 3/4 per side.
Yeah, that's not terrible.
Does it poke that much?
It looks like a lot of tire, but it's kind of cool. Before we get too far into wiring up the Rolls Royce, I need to take a second to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, Keeps. Keeps has revolutionized the way men are treated for hair loss. With Keeps, it's easier and more affordable to get treatment for your hair loss. It helps you keep the hair that you have. You used to have to go to the doctor's office to get your hair loss prescription, and now, thanks to Keeps, you can visit a doctor online and have your medication delivered directly to your home. 2 out of 3 guys will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time they're 35. I still have most of my hair, but I'm kind of an outlier in my family, so we'll see how long that lasts. Keeps treatments are up to 90% effective at reducing and stopping further hair loss. You don't have to go broke to avoid going bald. So, if you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/watchjrgo or click the link in the description below and receive 50% off your first order. That's keeps.com/watchjrgo. Now let's finish that last hurdle in the way of starting this engine. And I cannot wait to start this engine. Here we have our Earl's quick disconnect, which should be, I just don't know what size the fuel rail input is. This is 5/16. So
big.
It looks really big. So I guess let's try it real quick and see if it fits. Watch it be too small. Oh yeah, it doesn't even start, dude.
Too small?
Doesn't go on at all.
Ugh.
So I guess we were wrong about it being big. But we did get our 10 micron fuel filter. It's already almost put together so it can go under the car. And we got our injector harness, which was critical to starting this car. So that is the injector harness that plugs right into the injector plug. It's hanging out on the back there and hooks up to the engine. Super pumped about that. And what else? We got our spark plug wires today. We were missing those. Critical piece here. These are the ceramic ones because we were worried about heat in the engine bay. So this should be amazing. They're super short with ceramic boots on them. And we've got a bunch of wire, and we've got some soft line because we decided to change up the nitrous purge a little bit more. So today we're gonna try to wire this car. Hopefully get it really close to running, get the fuel tank in, get everything important wired. And I mean, the tires look incredible. That is awesome. Oh, we got a spare too, because we figured we're gonna pop one at Cleetus and Cars. We've got 5 ready to go, and I've got one more of the old Hankook tires ready to go. These are quite a bit smaller because it's like the factory size, and they were made in like 15, so they were pretty new. No dry rot. Figured we'd keep them. We have. I was like, did you just kick everything at once? And the tire just falls down.
Fainted.
It looks. The others just look so good.
It's tired.
Take a look. We've got.
It's tired.
We have these. This is the spare, right? With its. Oh man, it is not meaty. Over here, we have the meats, and it looks crazy how. Wow. I mean, the car looks so much more aggressive like this.
Flame broiled meats.
The flame broiled like Burger King. Oh no. So anyway, continuing the billet tradition, we have the Earl's fuel filter right here that is all billet with the billet bracketry and of course all the AN lines billet. So yeah, we're missing one AN to AN connector. Now we're gonna hop in the engine bay, put the injector harness on. It used to be really easy to hop in this engine bay, and it's no longer the easiest thing in the world. But we need to plug this in right back here at the very back of the engine. We have the injector harness connection, which is now connected. And here we have, one of these should say injector 1. Okay, this is the even side. Cool. So.
That's odd.
Huh? Yeah. Yeah. This is We might have to move some of our wires around a little bit, but I think it clicked in. Injector 3, injector 7, injector 5. Move our wideband out of the way a little bit. We have a complete fuel injection system for the most part here. All right, what's next? Turn the key. It'd be good if we had hooked anything up to the starter, and if there's a fuel filter, and if there was power to the Terminator.
Or a fuel
is that
tank.
it? Oh.
Or a fuel tank in the car.
Yeah, fuel tank would be cool. It's wiring time! Things are getting real crazy around here. We have our like guesstimated wiring and relay requirements here. We've got all the stacks and stacks of relays from Nitrous outlet. We've got relays for the fans. I gotta go home and get more relays because we want 2 stages of fans. And right now, I'm trimming all this up here. I think we're just gonna cut this right here, right at the bottom. Just trash all of those wires. This was the alternator, we know that. And the rest of this was probably AC, and we can rewire that from scratch. Just put a meter on it and figure out what's what. And then this, of course, is cabin power, which we have temporary, so we can do some testing. And we're just getting after it here. So we're gonna try to do a little bit of cleaning, mount all these factory relays back up to the firewall. All these relays here can move back up to the firewall right there. And that'll clean up all that. And what is this? We don't even know what that is. Probably cut that out. It definitely needs cleaned up in here. And Josh is making the mount for the Terminator right now.
I do.
It pushed it back, it didn't work.
Need more clamp.
More clamp force. So we're using this little piece of plate to mount the Terminator on. We haven't really checked out our ECU too much. I mean, you guys know what it is, but where it is the real question. Where did they go?
Thought you had it.
Oh no!
Oh, windshield.
Oh, there it is. Okay, so here is the Terminator X Max. I showed it to you guys a little bit, but anyway, this will mount onto this plate, and this little plate, now that it has way more strength than it used to have.
It's getting closer.
Getting closer, yep.
The attempt here.
And then this should mount onto that, and then there's 2 bolts under the dash. We'll mount the plate onto those 2 bolts, and that'll let us hide this way up under the dash and see the status lights, which is key here. This time when we power it up, all the ECUs, the engine is all connected. So we should see a whole lot of good news coming out of the LEDs, and we just need switched power and the start. So we're gonna probe some things out, got the meter in here. I'll try to show you guys some of the probing of the starter relay and everything like that, so we can figure out what's what. I do have the nitrous solenoids redone. You can see that's all solder and heat shrink and weather pack. So if you want to pull the intake off and take the nitrous solenoids with it, just pop off that one connector right there and it's done. Hey, trimming! This is called saving weight right here. All this can go in the trash. It's all rotten, corroded, the wire's cracking everywhere. Over here we have tons of brand new, really, really nice oil resistant wire. And this is the harness that's gonna go to the back. So this is bottle opener, bottle heat, and fuel pump. Yeah, got a bottle opener.
Oh, I got excited thinking it was for something else.
The other bottle opener. How's the ECU mount?
It's coming along.
It looks pretty freaking cool.
Just add a little bit of strength to that plate by rolling the edges.
Nice.
We don't have a dimple die or anything cool.
We're not that.
No bead roller yet.
Nope. Progress. I got the dash wiring all hidden, and obviously that's not like attached yet. Everything's just kind of chilling still. But the dash wiring is all up in here and runs all the way over to that side. And the USB cable will end up tucked up in here, a little bit like that. Also, the drive-by-wire pedal's hooked up, which is one of the trickier parts of this because you can't modify those wires in any way. So I got that fish through there and that's in. So the dash, honestly, the dash could power up really, really soon. I just need to throw a weather pack connector in there because I'm trying to make sure everything can be disconnected for super easy troubleshooting. Over here on the passenger floorboard, you can see Josh's magic. Look at that, the ECU looks like it's completely stock. It's mounted so well. And I've gone ahead and I've got almost all of my harnesses connected. And now I need to finish up some other things. I decided to bring the power for everything into the cabin. I need to power this wire, and then this wire actually feeds back to the fuel pump. I'm gonna put the relay in the back. This is the CAN bus to the screen right there. This relay is for the fuel pump. That's a fuse for the fuel pump. This relay is for the transmission, fuse for the transmission. And right here, That's ignition switch, and that is ground. That's not all of it though. I have to connect the main power, and I haven't decided where I'm tying this in yet. This is actually like a 40 amp circuit because it can pull down a lot of power. That one red wire in there runs all the fuel, injectors, and the pump. But this runs everything else. So coil drivers, you know, all the other things the ECU is doing, the ECU itself and all the processing. It's a really important cable, and it says on it connect directly to battery. Unfortunately, that's more of like an American car thing because batteries typically in the front, or you bring the battery cable halfway up. In this car, batteries in the back on the driver's side as far as possible from that ECU. So what we did, we've got the factory battery cable. It runs all the way up the frame rail right here. And if we dip underneath, you can see we grabbed the GM battery box and hooked the factory battery cable up right there. And here is our junction for everything else. So that's gonna work out really well. I'm gonna I'll probably just pick up the ECU power right there. It's a direct battery feed. It's as good as it gets. And I just need to find a ground. I'll probably do a frame ground. It'll be fine. Check this out. The trans cooler, it's so beautiful. It's all in, it's all plumbed. All AN fittings, spall fan, temp sensing. I gotta stick a relay in here for that too. It's kind of important. You guys haven't even seen that trans cross member. Look how awesome it is. We ended up lifting the trans up a little bit and made a cool little pyramid. Well, it is 4 in the morning and I don't think I wanna keep working. I should probably stop. I know it needs to be done tonight, but I should probably stop. There's still a few more relays, obviously like 8 more relays that need mounted in this car. And all the outputs, I haven't hooked up the little octopus cable here. It's got 8 more wires, and those need to run E-fans, nitrous activation, and the AC compressor, or AC kick eventually. So, there's a few more things that need done, but it's so much closer. Yeah, let's take a look at the engine bay. You guys need to see that. I got the wire cutters in my hands, and I went insane. And all of the factory harness that was just all over the place is just gone. Cut it all back. There's probably 40 wires that are cut back right there, and they're all taped up and hidden, so that's really cool. We're keeping those because those are factory air conditioning. We tried to preserve everything that could be factory air conditioning. This will run down to our battery terminal box there. That's the cabin power. This is a copy of it. I'm pretty sure it just loops through because anytime this has 12 volts, that has 12 volts. We checked it with the meter, and I'm gonna use that one to feed all my relays for E-fans 1 and 2, and all the nitrous stuff. The car is looking very, very complete though, with the powder-coated wheels, the new tires, everything's done. Man, it took hours to get those tires. I probably waited in the waiting room for like 3 hours, and they probably had the tires for 5 or 6. Seems like a long time, so I've gotta figure something out so it doesn't take so long to get tires mounted. Josh's ECU mount, killer work again, and pretty pumped about that. We're probably gonna go ahead and use nitrous outlet switches for now to control the nitrous. I wanna move all that into the dash, but pinning in all that IO is gonna take a long time, and we don't have a long time. We gotta work fast. Oh, ICT Billet supplied this 4AN line right there, and we went ahead and made the purge soft line all the way over here, and that should make maintenance easy and keeps that line from running down the front of the engine. It wasn't ideal, and it was a really soft line. I bent all that by hand, and then Josh drilled the hole and shoved it through there. We decided to make it even better and make it serviceable. You can just disconnect it with an AN line right in the front. Oh, we came around back and we drilled a few holes in the trunk. Check it out. These come all the way up from the bottom. They have speed nuts underneath the carpet there, and those speed nuts retain the bolts, the bottle bracket and everything. You can pull off 4 wing nuts and just take this out if you need the trunk space. So you can either, decide if you want the bottle or no bottle, and if you take it out, the bolts stay in place, which is super cool. I'm so pumped about that. It goes, all the bolts come right through where the spare tire sits too, so when the tire's in, it's all completely hidden. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching Project Roll Smoke. We're coming up on our deadline. We're into February now. We're in trouble. So we've got about a week to get this whole thing wrapped up before we head to Texas. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shopwatchjrgo.com where you can pick up cool shirts like this. And please, like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time. Plug wires went in today. Excel 9000 ceramics. I already threw the box away. Otherwise, I would show you guys. These plug wires are insane, and we wanted them because, of course, the manifolds are facing the wrong direction. Okay, I hopped in the trunk and I mounted the relays for the fuel pump and the bottle heater, and that should pretty much take care of the trunk, other than, you know, I'm gonna put weather pack connectors on those and wire them real fast, but should be simple. All right, the one piece people have been bothering me about for a very long time, mostly my brother. My brother just keeps commenting, I hate that fuel pressure gauge. Josh keeps responding that it's steampunk, and yeah, it kind of is with this big old mechanical pressure gauge. It's a nice one, fluid filled and all that stuff, so not a lot of issues with vibration. Our HOLLEY pressure transducer that will show us the fuel pressure no matter what. This is like a 0 to 1,000. So no, we can run any fuel pressure and we'll know what's up. And also the HOLLEY harness is pre-built for this. It just plugs in right there and that will go right there. Unscrew ugly brass fitting that doesn't belong on a car and grab your 7/8, screw that thing into your fuel rail tap there. Done and done. That took like 3 seconds. I put a little thread sealant on it too, make sure it doesn't leak, and it's already hooked up. So now we have fuel pressure. I've got that on the dash so I can see it at a moment's notice.